Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody is having a great day so far. And you're looking forward to this class. We're focusing on IELTS Speaking Part 1, and we're going to discuss Band 9 Fluency, how to give some nice, fluent answers. Hi, Carolina. Welcome to our moderator. Welcome, members. Hi, Natalie, Janelle. Good to see our regular students. Kyber, welcome, everybody. All right, this class is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS success, please visit us there. And for general IELTS, please visit us at gieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have loads and loads of help for you to improve your English and your communication. Let me just show you those real quick. This is our academic IELTS website here with the blue background at aehelp.com. And you can click this big red button to join our premium package. We are a British Council IELTS registration center, and we are certified British Council agents. So, all right. Nidhe, welcome to the class. All right. Kyber, I'm definitely safe from COVID for now. Thank you for your concern. Okay, everyone. So this is our general IELTS website here with the green background. Again, click that big red button to join the premium package there. All right. So we do have apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. If you're looking for apps, just go to your Google Play or Apple App Stores, and you can get them from there. And also, we have something exciting for you here. We've reached 1,000 followers on our Instagram, and so we're giving away 2 courses for some students who are going to go through these 4 steps here. So we have this free course giveaway. All you have to do is, number 1, follow both of our Instagram profiles, IELTS at aehelp and gielts help. And then you want to like our Instagram posts that announce this giveaway. Share these Instagram posts and tag 3 of your friends. So go through these steps and you have a chance to win a free premium course. All right. Content roasters, good luck on your speaking test tomorrow. Okay, again, in our websites to check those out, it's aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. All right, now this is a speaking class that we're doing today, so make sure to speak and repeat. And if anybody has questions for me, you can always send me an email. My email is adrian@aehelp.com, so you can get a hold of me there. All right. Lucky Ahmed, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. All right, everyone. So let's get into some speaking. Oh, by the way, of course, as many of you are realizing, the schedule has changed. So I'm streaming at a different time than the last couple of weeks, of course. So the new schedule is according to this time here, which is Universal Time or GMAT time. For members, it's 12:30 to 13:30. And for the all chat class, it's at this time, which is 14 to 15 o'clock, Wednesdays to Saturdays. Okay, so members, I see that there are lots of members in this class, which is great. I see Natalie, Preeti, Janelle, lots of others, which is fantastic. Members, make sure tomorrow you attend class at 12:30 Universal Time. Okay, so pay attention to that. All right. Okay. And tomorrow, members, we're starting with task 1, and then we'll have reading for everyone. Okay. So, IELTS speaking. It is a 12 to 15 minute interview. These days, usually closer to 12 minutes. Okay. And in that 12 minutes, you have to prove your best English communication skills, not your everyday communication skills in English, but kind of your best English communication skills. And I notice how I'm not just saying English skills, but English and communication skills. That's your goal, all right? So in order to do that, you have to show lexical resource, you have to show fluency, you have to show grammatical range and coherence, okay? Now, they will pay attention to your pronunciation a bit, but pronunciation is not so important. A lot of students really worry about that, but that's not a deal breaker, okay? As long as your words are clear, even with a thick accent, you can get a band 9. So most important is coherence, that your answers are clear and accurate. Fluency is important. It's a part of coherence. Grammatical range, lexical resource, those are important, okay? Content Roasters is asking, if the interviewer asks me, what is your full name? Is it necessary to say you can call me by my first name? Yeah, so Content Rosters, you should tell the examiner what they should call you, okay? Because the examiners have difficulty with certain names, especially. So, and they want to be polite, so they will ask you, what you prefer to be called. What's your nickname? Okay, so definitely include that, and we're going to start with that right now. So let's warm up with some of these introductory questions, and then I will give you some more tips about fluency and coherence as we go along. Okay, so you go to your exam, and your examiner will greet you. They'll say, welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. This is candidate number 7352. The exam is held in Munich at 1300 hours, and I'm recording this for clerical purposes. Firstly, may I see your identification? Even before your name, they're going to ask you for your ID. May I see your identification? Simply because if you cannot show your identification, they will dismiss you from the exam. Even though you registered, even though you showed your passport or your ID before, if you don't have it for the examiner, they will dismiss you. So you have to show your identification. Make sure you have it with you. Okay? All right? So Aman Jad says, yes, here's my passport that I used to register for this exam. Please have a look. That works. Perfect. Kyber says, yes, here's my passport, which I used for registration online. Please have a look. That's great. Nice fluency. Ahmed says, yeah, sure, this is my passport, which I used for registration. That's excellent. Ronnie says, certainly, here's my passport that I used to register for the test. Please have a look. Good, nice. Everybody is using full sentences. That's great. Carolina says, yes, here's my ID that I used to register for the exam. Please have a look. Fantastic. So right away, you want to show fluency, even with this question, okay? So, yes, certainly. Here is my passport that I used to register for the exam. Let me just find the page with my credentials. Okay, here you go. So be natural, use your own diction, all right? Again, speak and repeat, everyone. So may I see your identification? Yes, certainly. Here's a passport that I used to register for the exam. Let me just find the page with my credentials. Okay, here you go. So imagine that you're sitting there. Because of COVID, they will not take your ID. You have to just show it to them, okay? And so imagine that you're there. You pull it out. You go, yes, here's my passport that I used for registration. Just a moment. Let me find my credentials. Okay, there you are. All right, and then they'll look at it. And the next question they will ask you is, what is your full name? Okay, So, of course, it's a part of that first interaction, that greeting. They want you to be comfortable, so give your full name. Again, use full sentences. Okay. Kyber says, my last name is Momand and my first name is Kyber, so you can call me by my first name. Kyber. Okay, good. Nidhay says, my first name is Nidhay and the last name is Kadenpan. Please call me by my first name, Nidhay. Good. Again, so nice, natural, comfortable, fluent, full answer, okay? Ronnie says, my given name is Ronnie and my family name is Raymond. Please just call me Ron for short. Very good, Ronnie. Yeah, so call me Ron for short. Again, be comfortable, be natural, okay? Kashirsha says, my given name is Kashirsha and my surname is Ronan. Please just call me Kaz for short. Very good. Okay. Sagar says, my name is Hansora Sagar. Most of my friends and family members call me by my first name, Sagar. So please just do the same. Sagar, very good. I would end that a little bit differently, a little bit more gentle. So I would say, so please just do the same. So instead of so you can use the same. So please just do the same. Okay. All right, good. So my full name, as you can see in my passport, is Christina Alexa McKinley. Please just call me by my nickname, Chrissy. Okay. So, I'm just coming up with a fictitious name here, of course. Repeat after me. What is your full name? My full name, as you can see on my passport, is Christina Alexa McKinley. Please just call me by my nickname, Chrissy. Okay, Chrissy. The speaking exam has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each. For part 1, I will ask you 1 or 2 more questions about you and then some questions about a general topic. Let's begin. What did you do this morning? So, again, a couple of warm-up questions. Often this will be, do you work or study? In this case, what did you do this morning before you came to this exam? Okay. Amanjad says, as usual, I woke up at 6 o'clock and did some exercise. Then after bathing, I took my breakfast, and then that was prepared by my mom. I mean, I know the British like using the word take, like taking tea, but I would use the more specific noun there, Amanjad. I would say I ate breakfast that my mom made me, some ham and eggs. Okay, be specific. Sammy says, well, this morning I got up at 6 a.m. and went for a morning walk for about an hour. Studied for some time for this exam and left home at 10 a.m. to arrive to this exam center on time. Okay, very good. All right, again, I'm doing some real-time corrections, so make sure to pay attention to that and just copy what I say, okay? If something's not clear, ask me. And again, record the time of my response, and you can go back and check, okay? Jassy says, I woke up around 7 in the morning and had a cup of tea. Then I set my day with a 2K light walk after my exercise. I dressed up to get to this IELTS Institute where I had to be for 10 a.m. Okay, Jassy, not bad. Careful with your word choice and grammar, okay? All right. If you say I had a 2K light walk, it would be awkward to say that that's a workout a little bit. Workouts are usually a bit more intense. So I would say exercise, okay? By the way, how is the lighting, everyone? Carolina, how's the light right now? Is it too bright? I'm trying to find the right balance between the light on me and the light in the background. So if you're having trouble reading the board, let me know, okay? So I can get the perfect setting. It's quite hard to figure that out in live streams. Okay, Kaldeep says, I got up early at 5 a.m. this morning. Firstly, I headed straight for the washroom. After that, I gargled with lukewarm water for 5 minutes. Then I did some push-ups and then brushed my teeth and had breakfast. Had a break is kind of weird there, Kaldeep, so had breakfast. Okay, all right. So, very good. I rolled out of bed around 6 a.m. Brushed my teeth. Had a glass of water. Then I got dressed. And started studying and reviewing my notes for this interview. I caught the bus near my home around 9:30 to get here on time. All right. So here we go. Might as well show a little bit of idiomatic language early on whenever possible. It doesn't mean using complicated idioms, but just some light idiomatic language. So here we go. What did you do this morning? I rolled out of bed around 6 a.m., brushed my teeth, had a glass of water. Then I got dressed and started studying and reviewing my notes for this interview. I caught the bus near my home around 9:30 to get here on time. Okay. All right. Rolled out of bed. If you see new words or new expressions that I'm using, make sure to write them down. This is very visual. It means to get up. In kind of a difficult manner, so you're not just the other one, if you're getting out of bed very easily, you had a good night's rest, would be popped out of bed. I don't know about you, but I sometimes pop out of bed, but sometimes I roll out of bed. So it depends on you, okay? But you can get a little bit more specific with this. All right. Okay. So let's see. We've got some good answers here. All right. Okay. And the video seems to be good. That's fantastic. Okay. So after this, the examiner will introduce the topic of part one. It can be really about anything. So for me, when I took the official IELTS exam back in February, the topic for part one was maths. So when did I learn math, and did I like math? Here's the topic for today for us. Let's talk about your numbers. Okay, part one is about you. It's your experiences, okay? So here we go. Let's talk about your numbers. What is your favorite number and why? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. So what is your favorite number and why? Okay, give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay. Little Mermaid says, I have always been a fan of the number 8. I consider it my lucky number. My birthday is also the 8th of August. Besides, I found the number 8 was the easiest to write when I was in kindergarten. That's a great answer, Little Mermaid. I can absolutely tell that it must be truly your favorite number. Ferdov says, my number 1 digit is 23. When I was 23 years old, I finished my tertiary education. It's the first time I had been to a foreign country. I got a brilliant job and finally met my wife. Wow, Ferdovs, that is a lucky number, 23 for you. Very good. All right. It's a good number. It's a great answer. So that's what you want, students. The 2 answers that I read so far, they're really good because they're fluent. They give clear explanations and lots of details. They're original, so those would get high band scores, band 9 even, with some nice fluency. Okay. Sukdeep says, to be honest, I think all numbers have its own importance. That's why I don't think that any number is special, because any number did not help me in any specific case. Okay, Sukdeep, that's an okay answer, but that one is less original. So it's better to be specific in your answers, okay? So students, try to avoid generalized answers and try to avoid negative answers. So if you say, well, I don't have a lucky number or I don't have a favorite number, sure, that's an answer. And in everyday life, I wouldn't really question you about that. But during an exam, that kind of answer doesn't let me know whether you're a band 8 or band 9 user of English, okay? Because even a band 5 level person should be able to say, I don't have a favorite number, okay? That's band 5 level speaking. It doesn't show a band 8 or a band 9. So it's better to come up with something. Jibin Bobby says, my favorite number is 3. It's my lucky number, and it helped me succeed in many situations, especially in multiple choice questions. Okay, Jibin, very good. Sure, so maybe give an example, Jibin, like last month I had a math exam, and I chose the third answer for many questions that I didn't understand and got a 90% as my final score. So give an example of how it helped you succeed in your multiple choice answers. Okay? All right. Oh, look at that. So Preeti, like for Dovs. Preeti says, my all-time favorite number is 23 because not only was I born on this day, but it's also lucky for me. It used to roll my number during schooling. I used to be first in class. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean roll number. Oh, it used to be my roll number during school. I get it. Okay. Vishnu says, well, when it comes to numbers, the number 2 seems appealing to me. I don't have any particular reason, but I reckon that when I believe this number in exams, it seems to bring me positive results. Okay, Vishnu, sure. So that's great. Learn English Easily says, my favorite number is 1 because I always want to be first among others, and this on a daily basis helps me to reach my goals and never give up. Very good. Okay. So my all-time favorite digit is 9, ever since it was my number in high school basketball. I loved playing with my teammates, and I felt that this number on my jersey brought me luck. Score many baskets. Since then, I have picked this number several times in games of fortune, and it has done well for me. All right. Okay. So here we go. What is your favorite number? Why? You should always answer the why question, even if they don't ask it. Okay. So some examiners won't ask the why question until you just give a short answer. Then they'll ask you why. For fluency, for Band 9 fluency, it's really, really, really important that you always give reasons for your answers. Okay. So much more than just in casual conversation. In the interview, you want to always give an answer and an explanation, a reason for your answer. And then as much as possible, give a smooth example. Don't say for example, don't say for instance, but just give the example. Okay? All right. Repeat after me. What is your favorite number? Why? My all-time favorite digit is 9, ever since it was my number in high school basketball. I loved playing with my teammates and felt that this number on my jersey brought me luck to score many baskets. Since then, I've picked this number several times in games of fortune, and it has done well for me. Okay, maybe if I was playing the lottery or some kind of a card game, number 9 has been lucky for me. Okay, here we go. Next question. All right, everybody's doing a great job. If I miss some of your answers, don't worry. I'll try to catch different students at different times. So what number do you use often? Okay, what number do you use often? So make sure to give me a nice full sentence answer here as well. Give explanations and examples. All right. So Jassy says, I frequently use the number 0 in my day-to-day life, as most of my passwords contain the digit 0, whether it's my mobile phone's front lock or my Instagram login password. Okay, Jassy, very good. Let's see some more. Sammy says, I generally use the number 3 and 7 because, as I just mentioned, that's my birthday. It's on the 3rd of April, and 7 is like the completion of the weekdays, and a total of my birthdays, 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay, Sammy, yeah. Here it's what numbers do you use often, so it doesn't have to be a single number, and it's kind of tricky because when you're in the IELTS, you have to think outside the box. So these aren't necessarily numbers 1 to 10, but it can be numbers like phone numbers or your address number or your password number. Okay? So think outside the box. Malik Pillow says, the number I use often is 3. Each day, I like to list my 3 top priorities. For today, it was exercising, talking with my family, and working on my project. I feel this keeps me focused and dedicated. All right. Good. So be direct with your answers, students. Don't say, well, there's lots of numbers that are used daily, but I just directly give your answers. Okay? All right. Anil says, I often use 10 as I was born on this day. It has a 1 and a 0, both balancing the positive and negative thoughts and emotions. This feeling helps me grow in a balanced way. Wow, Anil, that's very metaphysical of you. It's a good answer, okay? I mean, there is no right or wrong answer on IELTS, and it does certainly sound original, and that's very, very important. You want to sound like yourself, so that's great, okay? So I can't read the Cyrillic, but the answer is honestly, It is quite easy to notice a lot of numbers around you on a daily basis, but I reckon that 100 is the most common. For instance, the very first thing that you see is 100% on your phone. Okay, so this is where you have to be careful. The question is about you, not about me. Okay, so what numbers do you use most often? Students, be careful. Do not use the word you, especially in part one, because these questions are not about the examiner. The examiner is asking about you. And this is what I mean with coherence, okay? So here's a very important tip for today. All right, tip one. The questions, especially in part one, are about you. So use I, me, my, myself. Do not use the word you, as you are not talking about the examiner. Okay? This is important for coherence, right? For good communication as well, all right? In everyday communication, we do this to draw the attention of our listener, but in good communication, we shouldn't do this, okay? So what numbers do you use often? The numbers that I frequently use are phone numbers of my friends and family, as well as numbers for my regular, let's just say, for my daily errands, such as online banking and logging into my email. These digits I use at least once a day. In fact, I dialed my mom's number just this morning to get some confidence from her for this exam. All right, there we go. So here, numbers don't necessarily mean specific 1s, 2, 3, 4. It means numbers, right? House number, address number, those would be some other ones as well. So here we go. What numbers do you use often? The numbers that I frequently use are phone numbers of my friends and family, as well as numbers for my daily errands, such as online banking and logging into my email. These digits I use at least once a day. In fact, I dialed my mom's number just this morning to get some confidence from her for this exam. Okay, I know that was a bit fast. Let's do that one more time. So just repeat after me, okay? Practice questions as well as answers. So what numbers do you use often? The numbers that I frequently use are phone numbers of my friends and family, as well as numbers for my daily errands, such as online banking and logging into my email. These digits I use at least once a day. In fact, I dialed my mom's number just this morning to get some confidence from her for this exam. Okay, so nice and fluent. When you're practicing at home, go through the same question and answer a couple of times so you really build that fluency. And I highly, highly recommend recording the question and the answer on your phone. Okay? All right. Here we go. Next one. I bet now you'll come up with some really clever answers for this one. Which numbers are important to remember? Okay, another good question. Which numbers are important to remember? Can you give me a nice full sentence for this one? Of course, you want to give the answer, explanation, and example. Okay. All right. Sammy says, some of the numbers that I remember easily are even numbers. Also, dates like birthdays, wedding anniversaries, my graduation day, and the day I joined my office. For me, particularly my wedding anniversary. That's right, Sammy, especially if your partner is watching. That's a good one to emphasize. Okay. Yep. Marasa says, well, a few numeric digits which are important to keep in mind for me are like emergency numbers, my mobile password, which I use thousands of times daily to unlock my phone. Okay, Marasa, good. That's an exaggeration, the thousands of times daily, but it's good. It's a good exaggeration. Okay, we do that. That's natural. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. I guess that a pivotal set of numbers for me to recollect is numbers 0 to 9. Because of the simple fact that all science and math is strongly related to it. Yeah, don't use the word stuff, and again, avoid the word you. Okay? All right. Let's see. Han says, I think it would be simple numbers such as 7 or 6 or birthdays, graduation days when I celebrate these days, and I want to memorize these for many, many years to come so that I can be polite and sympathetic, especially for brothers and sisters who I love very much, right? Okay, Han, again, talk about yourself. So again, a quick reminder, everyone. Part 1, you need to talk about yourself. Okay. Natalie says, I always learn PIN codes for my credit cards. It's important for me to remember these because I don't want people to see them, so I want to be able to input them in machines very quickly. Okay, Natalie, the beginning is good. The end of it's a little bit awkward. Rethink it. All right, Cigar says, my college roll number is the most important number for me to remember because it changes in the semester and I forget to write it, then there will be mistakes in my grades for me and other students. Cigar, you have a good idea. It's a complicated idea, so make sure that you only say that kind of an answer if you're 100% sure that you can clearly express what you want to say. I kind of get what you want to say, but it's not perfectly clear. Okay? All right, so be really careful with that, students. All right. Nico says, most of the numbers for me are very important, but the ones that I have to remember are my password numbers for my bank accounts. Because if I forget it, I could be in a very awkward situation when I'm at a store trying to purchase goods and services. Okay? Yeah, so which numbers are important to remember? There are several strings of digits which are vital to store in long term memory for me. These include my own phone number, emergency numbers such as 911 for police or the fire department. Not only these, but also my PIN code for my bank and credit cards. Otherwise, I could get into some highly awkward situations at the checkout counter. In fact, this happened to me once, and I was super embarrassed. Okay. So here we go. Repeat after me. Which numbers are important to remember? There are several strings of digits which are vital to store in long-term memory for me. These include my own phone number, emergency numbers such as 911 for police or the fire department. Not only these, but also my PIN code for my bank and credit cards. Otherwise, I could get into some highly awkward situations at the checkout counter. In fact, this happened to me once and I was super embarrassed. Okay. Now, this is a nice, full, complete, fluent, original answer. Hint tip number 2, very important. When saying an answer of this length, you have to be fluent, otherwise the examiner could interrupt you because they will feel that you won't stop talking if they don't interrupt you. And also they're trying to pay attention to time to make sure that they have enough time for part 2 and part 3. So when you practice, this is a tip here. Okay, so tip 2. When you practice an answer of this length, make sure to be very fluent so that the examiner does not have the inclination or time to interrupt you. Okay. So yes, you can say an answer like this. I gave the examiner answers like this during my interview, but of course I had to be very fluent, so you can't stop. If I say that such as 911 for the police and fire department, and then I stop here before the not only, and I start to go or the examiner will go right to the next question. They'll go right to the next question and they'll say, okay, are you good at math? Why or why not? So they won't give you the chance then to continue. So you have to be very fluent in that connection. Okay. So here we go. Next question. Are you good at math? Why or why not? Think of other ways to express the word math. Okay. So are you good at math? Why or why not? Marasa says, yes, I'm perfect in mathematics since my childhood because it's very interesting for me, as well as it's an important subject. Without maths, it's almost it's difficult to learn other science subjects like physics and chemistry. Okay, Marasa, make sure to keep it about yourself. Sammy says, yes, I'm good at calculations because I studied Bachelor of Science, mathematics. Not only that, but also my father is a mathematics teacher. So from my childhood, he has taught me arithmetic. Now I'm planning to teach it in the future. Okay, very good, Sammy. I'm guessing you're definitely good at math. Reba says, unfortunately not. I'm not really good at math. I feel that math requires good cognitive skills to solve numerous equations. I start feeling under the weather when someone asks me a math question. Feeling under the weather means that you feel physically sick, like you have the cold or flu. So that's not quite the right expression there, Reba. I would use something different. If you're looking for an idiom, there are some. Nothing's coming to mind for me, but you should say, I feel anxious or I feel nervous when someone asks me a math question. Okay. Or another one that you could use, Reba, is whenever a person asks me a math question, I'm definitely out of my comfort zone, if you want to use an idiom there. Okay. All right. Asad Beck says, I'm not into math because there are too many formulas that I should learn. And I've got no interest in arithmetic particularly. However, I am good at counting, especially at counting money. Haha. Okay, very good, Asad Beck. It's a nice answer and good use of idiomatic language there. Absolutely. So, I wouldn't say that I'm a genius when it comes to arithmetic by any means. I've struggled with this subject ever since elementary school. I have a hard time working through the equations. I'm more of a social person. I never took the time to really get into this area of science. Okay. So here we go. You don't always have to answer positively. However, it's often easier. So if you do answer in a negative way, then make sure you give a clear, complete answer. So are you good at math? Why or why not? I wouldn't say that I'm a genius when it comes to arithmetic by any means. I've struggled with this subject ever since elementary school. I have a hard time working through the logic of equations, and I'm more of a social person, so I never took the time to really get into this area of science. Okay. Next question. Have the way people use numbers changed compared to a couple decades before? Really pay attention to the present perfect in this question, everyone. So in your answer, you should include that. So again, have the way people use numbers changed compared to a couple of decades before? Okay, give a nice, complete sentence answer for this one as well. Okay. All right. Murasa says, yes, it has changed as compared to the past. Like nowadays, people. Okay, good, Murasa. Good start with the present perfect. Okay. Ratchet says, well, they have changed a considerable amount. I would say yes, due to the basic counting of goods and services. Nowadays, people don't need calculators for complex equations. They can just simply use their mobile phone or the till. Okay, Ratchet, careful with your grammar and your word choice. Sammy says, I would say no because numbers are the same in decades past, and there are different types of numbers. I've been using like numerical and Roman numbers, but when it comes to computers like coding, okay, good, Sammy, use the present perfect. I would say it hasn't. Instead of saying I would say no, I would say it hasn't, meaning it hasn't changed. Okay? All right. Ferdovs says, yes, it has evolved. Nowadays, people mostly type numbers, and 20 or 30 years ago, people often used to write numbers with pen or pencil. Yeah, so the medium of writing down numbers has changed for sure. In the past, decades prior, people wrote numbers down with pencil and pen, but nowadays we type numbers into our phone and into computers. Yeah, very good. Kashirsha says, I think the way people use numbers has definitely changed. Nowadays, people don't pay so much attention to doing arithmetic like adding and subtracting numbers while doing their groceries. They can just simply use technology to help them figure out equations. Very good, Kashirsha. So I finished that sentence for you. I see the finish later. That was good. All right. Nicely done. Okay. Asad Beck says, yes, it has, because nowadays people think math is life because it's completely everyday. We use numbers. But a couple of decades ago, our parents and grandparents didn't use numbers as frequently as we do now. Yeah, Asad Beck, valid argument, especially in the world of computers. The use of numbers has become very frequent. Yeah. And passwords and PIN codes. So we definitely use a lot of numbers these days. Okay. Hopeless Romantic says, obviously, we have seen a dramatic change in the use of numbers nowadays. They're not only used for calculating, but for coding as well. In the digital age of computers, numbers have become extremely important for most people's work. Okay, I added the have and have been, the present perfect. Students, it's very, very important for your fluency and coherence that you reflect the grammar of the question. So if the question uses have, make sure to reflect that, okay? So yes, the use of numbers has certainly evolved and changed much over the past 20 to 30 years. As technology becomes increasingly more common, so too does the demand for numbers. I would say that my parents back in the day hadn't needed to use numbers in their daily dealings as much as people do now with what I mentioned earlier, like PIN codes and passwords. Okay, there we go. So here we go. The way people use numbers changed compared to a couple of decades before. Couple of decades means 10 years. Couple of decades means 20, 30 years roughly. So again, paraphrasing, using the grammar of the question, have, present perfect. So yes, again, repeat after me. Yes, the use of numbers has certainly evolved and changed much over the past 20 to 30 years. As technology has become increasingly more common, so too does the demand for numbers. I would say that for my parents back in the day, they hadn't needed to use numbers in their daily dealings as much as people do now with what I mentioned earlier, like PIN codes and passwords, okay? So get the present perfect into your answer. Notice how here I changed it as technology has become. So another present perfect, okay? All right, everyone. Fantastic work today. Again, a quick reminder that we have new times for these live classes. So tomorrow we'll have writing task 1 for members. An hour and a half before this class. And then at the time of this class, we'll have some reading practice and strategy for everyone. So make sure to come back and join for that. Now, remember that you can practice your speaking for free on our website at aehelp.com and glshelp.com. And if you like this video and you want more HD videos and content, join our premium package. Go to glshelp.com for general IELTS. Click the big red button, one-time payment, lifetime access. And for the academic IELTS, it's the blue background, big red button. Click that. You can get lifetime access, one-time payment. I hope I see all of you tomorrow for some more English, some more communication, and I wish you all a lovely rest of your day. That's it for now. Keep up the good work, everyone. You're very welcome, Yıldız. Okay, you're welcome, Munvar. Much love to all of you. Remember that you're smart, beautiful people. Don't let life get you down, ever. I'm Adrian. Bye for now.